living in a penthouse or sleeping in your car, you still have 24 hours to make decisions, to make moves, to shape your future. The difference is how you use them. Let's break this down. Time is opportunity. Every second is a choice. You can choose to invest it or spend it. Most people spend it. They give it away to distractions, to drama, to meaningless scrolling, to binge watching their potential go down the drain. And then they wonder why their dreams feel so far away. But successful people, those who build empires, launch movements, transform their lives, they invest their time. They treat each minute like a seed that, if planted correctly, will grow into something powerful. Here's an example. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He starts his day at 4 a.m. Why? Because he values his time. He knows every hour counts. He doesn't wait for motivation. He creates discipline. While most people are still in bed, he's already worked out, reviewed scripts, and handled business. That's not about genetics. That's about urgency. It's about treating time as the non-renewable asset it is. Now let's talk about cost. Every yes you say to something meaningless is a no to something important. Saying yes to gossip or distractions is saying no to growth, no to progress, no to the better version of yourself. We often think we're just killing time, but what we're really doing is killing potential. Time is not just ticking, it's counting down. Every second is one less you get to use in this lifetime. So what are you doing with it? Time is also about momentum. Small choices, made consistently over time, create massive outcomes. Reading 10 pages a day might not feel like much, but over a year, that's 3,650 pages, roughly 10 to 15 books. Compare that to someone who says, I don't have time to read, but spends hours on social media. One person's time becomes a library of knowledge. The other's becomes a wasteland of distraction. The difference isn't the hours, it's the intention. And let's not forget about regret. One of the top regrets of the dying, as recorded by hospice nurses and in books like The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware, is this: I wish I hadn't wasted so much time. People don't lie on their deathbeds thinking about how many TikToks they watched. They think about relationships they didn't build, dreams they didn't chase, chances they didn't take because they assumed they had more time. We always think we'll have more. We push dreams to someday. But someday isn't a day on the calendar. It's a slow death of everything you could have been. If you're feeling stuck right now, overwhelmed, like life's passing you by, here's the hard truth. It's not the hours that are missing. It's the intention. You don't need more time. You need better use of the time you already have. That 1 hour you waste each night watching mindless content, that could be your workout, your journaling time, your hustle hour, your business plan, your edge, the thing that separates you from staying stuck and finally leveling up. So how do you fix it? You start by tracking your time. Like money, if you don't measure where it's going, you'll always feel broke. Audit your day. Where are your hours leaking? What are you trading for momentary comfort that's costing you long-term success? Then get ruthless. Cut the junk. You don't need 12 productivity apps. You need commitment. Decide that your time is sacred and treat it like your life depends on it, because it does. You see, once you realize how valuable your time is, you stop giving it away to people, habits, and patterns that don't serve you. You start showing up differently. You walk into every room with urgency, not stress, but purpose. Because you know the clock is ticking, and you're here to build, not waste. You're not waiting for the perfect moment. You're creating it right now with the choices you make in these 24 hours. And the beautiful part, the moment you decide to value your time is the moment everything starts to change. You start aligning with purpose. You start taking action. You start becoming the person you were meant to be. Not someday, today, because these 24 hours, they're your shot, your chance, your life. Use them wisely or regret them forever. Every minute you waste is a step further from the life you want. There's a silent thief stealing your dreams, and its name is wasted time. We don't often think of time in terms of distance, but the truth is, every single minute you spend procrastinating, doubting yourself, scrolling through social media, or doing something meaningless is like taking a step away from your goals. Imagine standing on a road. At the end of that road is the life you desperately want: success, freedom, love, health, fulfillment. Now imagine every minute you waste isn't just standing still, it's walking in the opposite direction. One step, two steps, then 5, then 10. And by the end of the week, you're miles further from the very future you keep saying you want. The most dangerous thing about wasting time is how harmless it feels. That 15 minutes you lost scrolling through Instagram, it didn't ruin your day. That hour you spent binging a show, it felt relaxing. That time you said, "I'll do it tomorrow," it didn't break anything yet. But waste isn't always dramatic. It's subtle. It builds in silence. Just like rust slowly destroys metal, wasting time slowly corrodes your potential. You don't notice the damage until it's deep. Until one day, you wake up and realize you're nowhere near where you thought you'd be. And that hurts. Here's a cold fact. Time doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't pause because you're tired or confused or scared. It keeps moving. The clock is always ticking, and with every tick, you're either moving closer to your dream or drifting further from it. There's no in-between. People love to say, "I'll start when I feel ready," or "Now's just not the right time." But that mindset is a lie. It's a trap. Because waiting to feel ready is the perfect recipe for staying stuck forever. If you only take action when it's convenient, you'll always stay in the comfort zone, and no one builds greatness from there. Let's look at real-world examples. Take someone like J.K. Rowling. She was a broke, single mother, writing in cafes, battling depression. She didn't have perfect conditions. She had minutes, little windows of time between raising her child and dealing with life. And she used them. She didn't waste them. She wrote when she was exhausted. She wrote when she didn't feel like it. And eventually, those minutes added up to a manuscript, then to a global empire. It wasn't magic. It was choice. Every minute mattered. Now contrast that with the average person who says they want to write a book but never even opens a document, who dreams of getting fit but never gets off the couch, who wants financial freedom but watches Netflix instead of learning a skill. It's not that they don't have time. It's that they waste it. And every time they do, they push their dreams just a little bit further out of reach. Time is like compound interest. Use it wisely, and the return is massive. Waste it, and the debt piles up. One productive hour a day can transform your life. Imagine dedicating just one focused hour daily to your passion. That's 365 hours a year, over 15 full days of pure effort. Now think of the reverse. If you waste 1 hour a day, that's over 2 entire weeks gone. What could you have built with that time? What connections? What income? What impact? And the truth is, it's not about being perfect. Everyone wastes some time. We're human. But the difference between people who win and people who wish is awareness. Winners realize when time is slipping. They self-correct. They get back on track. They ask, is what I'm doing right now pulling me toward the life I want or pushing me further away? And they answer honestly. Start asking yourself that same question. When you reach for your phone out of habit, ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? When you say yes to a distraction, realize you're saying no to your destiny. This is how you take back control. Not through some major life overhaul, but through 1,000 small decisions made on purpose. Let's not forget the psychological toll. Wasting time doesn't just delay progress, it creates guilt, anxiety, even shame. You know you're capable of more. You feel it. So every time you let time slip, you don't just lose progress, you lose belief in yourself. That inner voice starts whispering, "You'll never do it." And over time, that whisper gets louder. It becomes a scream. And that scream is what keeps people stuck. But here's the good news. The same way you drifted from your dream is the same way you return to it, 1 minute at a time, one decision at a time. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to stop bleeding time. You need to stop taking steps in the wrong direction and start walking back. Even if it's slow, even if you stumble, at least now you're facing the right way. There's this powerful concept called Kaizen. It's the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement. Tiny, daily changes that lead to big results over time. That's how you reclaim your time. You choose one small thing today and you master it. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's turning off distractions for one focused hour. Maybe it's finally starting that thing you've been putting off. Whatever it is, start. Because the longer you wait, the further you drift. Let's stop pretending like we have forever. We don't. The dream life you say you want, it has an expiration date, and no one's going to build it for you. Every minute matters. Every choice echoes. If you keep wasting time, don't be shocked when your life looks nothing like the one you envisioned. Because time doesn't care about your dreams. It rewards action. It rewards the person who shows up even when it's hard, even when it's messy, even when no one's watching. So right now, ask yourself, are you wasting minutes that could be building something incredible? Are you stepping away from your goals every time you choose comfort over effort? And if the answer is yes, good. Because awareness is power. You can change. You can course correct. But only if you start treating every single minute like what it really is, a chance to get closer to the life you want. A step in the right direction. Use it. Don't lose it. High achievers don't get more time. They just use it differently. It's easy to look at successful people and think they've got some secret advantage, a bigger bank account, better connections, or superhuman discipline. But here's the truth that most people miss. They have the same 24 hours as you, the same sunrise and sunset, the same ticking clock. The difference isn't how much time they have, it's how they use it. While most people react to their day, high achievers design theirs. They're not victims of their schedule, they're the architects of it. Let's break this down. Imagine two people with identical days. Both wake up at 6 a.m., both work 8 hours. Both go to bed at 10 p.m. But one of them ends the day feeling exhausted, distracted, and frustrated by a list of unfinished tasks. The other finishes energized, accomplished, and ahead. Why? Because it's not the hours that matter. It's the intention behind them. High achievers move with purpose. They understand that time is a non-renewable resource, and they refuse to spend it on anything that doesn't align with their goals. Take Elon Musk as an example. Love him or hate him, his productivity is unmatched. He breaks his day into 5-minute blocks, every task, every meeting, every decision. It's not because he's obsessed with control. It's because he knows how easily time slips away if you don't command it. He doesn't leave room for distractions because he knows that every moment counts when you're building rockets, electric cars, and multi-billion-dollar companies. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't have a team of assistants or millions of dollars. That's not the point. The principle still applies. Look at people like Eric Thomas, who built his entire motivational brand while working as a janitor and living in abandoned buildings. He woke up at 3 a.m. every day to study, write, and build his speaking career. He didn't wait until life was perfect. He used every available moment with extreme focus. That's the mindset of a high achiever. Here's something powerful to understand. Time expands or contracts depending on your clarity. If you don't know what you're aiming for, your day becomes a blur of scattered effort. But when you have clear goals, time sharpens. Every hour becomes a weapon. Every task has meaning. You stop saying, I don't have time, and start asking, what do I need to make time for? That simple shift is what separates busy people from productive people. Busy people fill their day with activity. Productive people fill their day with results. One checks off to-dos. The other moves the needle. High achievers don't try to do everything. They do the right things. They know that focus is more powerful than hustle. You can be running full speed, but if you're going in the wrong direction, you're just getting lost faster. High performers align their energy with their goals. They cut the fluff. They prioritize the mission. This is where habits come into play. High achievers don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They create routines that remove decision fatigue. They automate what they can and simplify what they can't. Take someone like Tim Ferriss, who famously uses the 80-20 rule, focusing on the 20% of tasks that generate 80% of the results. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Look at athletes. Serena Williams doesn't just train randomly. She's got a schedule dialed into the minute. Practice, recovery, nutrition, mindset work. She knows that her edge isn't just talent. It's how efficiently she turns every hour into progress. That's what champions do. They optimize time, not perfectly, not rigidly, but strategically, because they know that wasted time is wasted opportunity. Even in creative fields, the pattern holds. Take Stephen King. He writes 2,000 words a day, every day, no matter what, rain or shine, holiday or weekday. That's how he's written over 60 novels. He doesn't wait for inspiration. He shows up. That's the secret. High achievers show up, even when it's boring, even when they're tired, even when they'd rather do something else, because they're driven by vision, not mood. Let's talk about decision making. One of the biggest time wasters is indecision. High achievers don't sit around overthinking. They make decisions fast and course correct if needed. Jeff Bezos talks about making type 1 versus type 2 decisions, reserving deep thinking for life-changing moves, but making day-to-day choices quickly. Why? Because dragging out small decisions drains energy and steals time from what truly matters. Now here's the part most people overlook. High achievers protect their time. Ruthlessly. They say no a lot. They turn down meetings that don't matter. They avoid people who drain them. They build boundaries that keep their priorities safe. Because every yes to something trivial is a no to something vital. It's not selfish, it's smart. You can't do deep work or build anything meaningful if you're constantly interrupted. So, what does this mean for you? It means stop waiting for more time. You're not getting it. What you've got. High achievers don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They create routines that remove decision fatigue. They automate what they can and simplify what they can't. Take someone like Tim Ferriss, who famously uses the 80-20 rule, focusing on the 20% of tasks that generate 80% of the results. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Look at athletes. Serena Williams doesn't just train randomly. She's got a schedule dialed into the minute. Practice, recovery, nutrition, mindset work. She knows that her edge isn't just talent. It's how efficiently she turns every hour into progress. That's what champions do. They optimize time. Not perfectly, not rigidly, but strategically, because they know that wasted time is wasted opportunity. Even in creative fields, the pattern holds. Take Stephen King. He writes 2,000 words a day, every day, no matter what, rain or shine, holiday or weekday. That's how he's written over 60 novels. He doesn't wait for inspiration. He shows up. That's the secret. High achievers show up, even when it's boring, even when they're tired, even when they'd rather do something else. Because they're driven by vision, not mood. Let's talk about decision making. One of the biggest time wasters is indecision. High achievers don't sit around overthinking. They make decisions fast and course correct if needed. Jeff Bezos talks about making type 1 versus type 2 decisions, reserving deep thinking for life-changing moves, but making day-to-day choices quickly. Why? Because dragging out small decisions drains energy and steals time from what truly matters. Now here's the part most people overlook. High achievers protect their time. Ruthlessly. They say no a lot. They turn down meetings that don't matter. They avoid people who drain them. They build boundaries that keep their priorities safe. Because every yes to something trivial is a no to something vital. It's not selfish, it's smart. You can't do deep work or build anything meaningful if you're constantly interrupted. So, what does this mean for you? It means stop waiting for more time. You're not getting it. What you've got, these 24 hours, is the exact amount you need to change your life. The real question is, are you using them like someone who wants more? Or are you giving them away to distractions, drama, and delay? Start by auditing your day. Where is your time leaking? What tasks give you the illusion of productivity but actually move you nowhere? Then get intentional. Block time for the things that matter. Build rituals around your energy. Make your day sacred. Because once you see your time the way high achievers do, you'll never go back to wasting it. Your future doesn't depend on lack. It depends on strategy. It depends on whether you treat your time like an afterthought or like the fuel that powers your mission. High achievers don't work harder. They work smarter. They don't chase every opportunity. They focus on the right ones. They don't beg for time. They own it. And so can you. So don't just admire high achievers. Emulate them. Study how they use their hours. Borrow their mindset. Build their discipline. And most of all, act. Because in the end, success isn't built in some mythical extra hour. It's built in the same 24 hours you've got right now. Use them differently, and everything will change. What you do daily determines what you become permanently. Your daily routine is the blueprint for your future. Not your dreams, not your hopes, your actions. The life you're living today is a reflection of the choices you've made consistently. If you wake up late, skip the gym, procrastinate, or waste time, you don't become lazy in one day, but brick by brick, habit by habit, that becomes your identity. Likewise, if you choose discipline, if you read, create, build, work, those choices compound, and they reshape who you're becoming. Think about it like this. If you put one drop of water on a stone every day, eventually it carves through rock. That's the power of consistency. Small things, done repeatedly, have massive results. People often underestimate what they can do in a year and overestimate what they can do in a day. They want transformation instantly, but true success is built quietly in the background of your habits. You don't wake up successful. You build into it. You don't suddenly become healthy. You earn it meal by meal, workout by workout. You don't accidentally become a great writer, speaker, entrepreneur. It's the accumulation of effort day in, day out. Look at your day right now. Are your habits building your future or burying it? The most dangerous lie is it's just one day. One skipped workout, 1 hour wasted, one more excuse. It always starts small, but what you repeat becomes who you are. That's why the small things matter. Because in the end, your habits don't just shape your results, they shape your identity. Change what you do daily, and you'll change what you believe about yourself. That belief, it's the fuel that drives transformation. So don't wait for some big moment to change your life. Your big moment is now. What you do today is who you become tomorrow. Build wisely. You don't lack time. You lack priorities. Let's be clear. Your problem isn't time. It's not that you don't have enough hours in the day. It's that your priorities are out of order. You say you want to get fit, write a book, start a business, but your calendar is filled with scrolling, binge watching, pointless conversations, and distractions. Your actions don't reflect your ambitions, and that gap is why you're stuck. The truth is, everyone has the same 24 hours. Some people build empires with it. Others build excuses. What makes the difference is clarity. High performers know exactly what matters most, and they align their time accordingly. They don't try to fit it in. They make it happen. They schedule it. They protect it. Because priorities aren't what you say, they're what you do. Take inventory of your life. Where is your time actually going? How much of it is aligned with your goals? Until you get ruthless about your priorities, you'll always feel too busy and go nowhere. Remember, you're not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You're overwhelmed because you haven't decided what's most important. Cut the noise. Focus on what matters. Because when you get your priorities right, time isn't your enemy, it becomes your most powerful ally.